Good morning, Vietnam. All right, guys, 6:41 a.m. Want to get this out and thank you to my man, Cavella. You're just a great guy. All right, so, guys, you heard me talk about this for the past 6 months. I knew a little birdie told me that they were going to be coming out with a compressor, okay? Didn't really know the specs of it. But now we have it. And like I said, guys, I just talked about it yesterday. You're starting to see these tools get released, one by one, two by two. We're going to start seeing these tools getting released. Like I said, we're basically 5 weeks away from MPS 2020, if it was to exist, obviously, because of the COVID-19 disease. They had to cancel it. So I knew this was coming. A lot of people have been talking about it. And again, it is going to be a 2-gallon. Okay. So compared to the other TTI made compressors, right? The Ryobi, a 1-gallon. Okay. The Rigid, a 1-gallon. We got a 2-gallon here. All right. $349, guys. That's pretty expensive. Being that you can get the DeWalt, which is a 2.5-gallon, okay, compressor with a battery, with a flex volt battery and quick charger. And you have to remember, there's times where you can actually get 2 flex volt batteries for $299 with the compressor. And that compressor is absolutely awesome. And I'll tell you, the Rigid is great too. But I mean, the Rigid is $229 bare tool. That's why you always see me talk about the DeWalt. And again, the DeWalt is an awesome cordless lithium ion compressor. Now, let's take a closer look at this. All right, so 2-gallon tank. It is bigger than the Rigid and Ryobi, like I said, from TTI. So this is the biggest TTI cordless compressor you can get. All right, capacity to run brad nailers, finished nailers, and staplers. 68 decibels, quietest cordless compressor for reduced noise at the job site. All steel roll cage and a suitcase style handle. Lower center of gravity. Let me see. For inline handle location. This thing's huge, man. Look at that. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't see, listen, it's just came out. It's new. And I'm sure it's going to work absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, you have there's no other compressor that's really designed like this. It looks really big, guys. I hate to say it. It looks heavy. And it's expensive. But obviously compatible with all M18 red lithium batteries, quick connect coupler, single turn regulator, quickly adjust tool pressure. So 1.2 CFM at 90 PSI. Okay. So again, very similar to the other compressors that are out there. Up to 1,600 nails per charge. Lawnmower, vacuum, Milwaukee 2-gallon comp. So again, 68 decibels, comparing it to a lawnmower that's 90, a vacuum that's 80. Obviously, that looks just like your DeWalt right there. Okay, so the DeWalt, I want to say the DeWalt is 86 decibels. So obviously, this is 68. It is quieter, okay? But, you have to ask yourself, is it worth the extra size? All right, and I want to catch the weight on this because that's a big one too. $350, and it doesn't even come with the battery. Yeah, like right here's the DeWalt, guys. It's a 2.5 gallon. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, guys, but I love the design of this. It is so compact. Again, you get a flex volt battery and the charger. And again, sometimes we've seen it with 2 flex volt batteries for $319, $299. We've seen it at times. And this also has the quick connect coupler, 135 max PSI, like I said. So 1,220 nails. This is saying it can do. Yeah, 21.5 pounds. All right, so keep that in the back of your head when we kind of look at the weight of the Milwaukee. It's 79 decibels. I thought it was 80. Yeah, they said, well, according to Milwaukee, it looks like it's around 86, but 79 versus 68. I wouldn't go too nuts with that, guys. So 21.5, and again, 135 PS. All right, so let's look at the specs of the DeWalt real quick here. And again, you have to put this in perspective, guys. This is a 2.5 gallon versus a 2 gallon. So you might say, it's only a half a gallon bigger. Not a big deal. You got to remember, guys, always kind of put it in percentage wise when you're talking about these smaller numbers. All right. It might 2 versus 2.5. Boss, it's not a big deal. But when you put it percentage wise, you're looking at around 25% larger tank. Okay. So, when you take that into comparison, you're looking at $299. You're getting a flex volt battery and a charger, and you're paying $60 less. And again, at times, we just did a deal probably a month ago. I believe it was $319, and you got 2 flex volt batteries and the quick charger. All right. And again, the size. Now, again, I haven't looked up the weights. This is a 2.5. It should be heavier than a 2 gallon, not by much, but that Milwaukee might kind of look bigger than it weighs. So we'll have to look at the specs of that real quick. But let's just go over to do a quick little comparison just with the DeWalt here. All right. So, the Milwaukee does have a little bit higher SCFM over this DeWalt. Remember, the Milwaukee's 1.6 at 40 PSI. All right. At 90 PSI, they're both the same. SCFM at 1.2 at 90 PSI. Okay. Both have the quick connect coupler. Again, this is a 2.5 gallon. You do get a 6 amp hour. Well, this is a flex volt tool. All right. So this is a 60 volt compressor. It will not work on 20 volt, DeWalt's 20 volt batteries. They're saying 79 decibels. All right. We just saw that little picture that Milwaukee had. Looks like it's around 86. All right. But here's the weight. So 21.5 pounds. All right. It's not heavy, guys. I've done 2 or 3 videos on it. The rigid isn't heavy either, but the rigid is just so darn expensive. It's $229 bare tool. Makes no sense when you can get this DeWalt for like $70 more. That is a 2.5 versus a 1 gallon, and you get the battery and charger. All right, so we know the specs of the DeWalt here. Let's put it into perspective again. Look at the size of this thing, guys. Now, weight. This end, it could be lighter, guys, but again, size does matter. You have to put this in the back of the truck. You got to put this in the trailer. This looks around 2 times bigger than the DeWalt. I think you can almost put two DeWalts side by side. But again, it's hard to compare from a picture here, but it looks pretty big. But again, 68 decibels. I think their point was to make this, as quiet a compressor, and that's what they're saying. Basically, the quietest cordless compressor out there. But 79 decibels to 68, yeah, it kind of has this at like 85, 86, it says here. The DeWalt. That we know that's the DeWalt. All right, so let's take a look at the specs here. All right, so yeah, 1.6 SCFM at 40 PSI. So this is, a little bit more powerful. Again, the DeWalt was 1.5 at 90 PSI. They're both 1.2. 5 amp hour battery. It says tool only. 68 decibels. 135, same as the DeWalt. And it's 31 pounds. I figured that. So, and this is a hot dog tank style. Remember, the DeWalt is a pancake. So this is a hot dog style. And you only get a 30-day return with this. Very interesting. Actually, with the DeWalt, you get 180 days. So that's weird. That's very weird. Because usually, not only do you get 90 days with Home Depot, now a lot of outdoor power equipment is only 30 days. So unless they're, using, an OPE type warranty with this, I don't see why it's only 90 days. I mean, I can show you. I'm pretty sure I saw 180 days with this. Now, we all know you get a 90-day DeWalt money-back guarantee. No matter what, you can use it for 90 days, drop it off a house. That's the one good thing that DeWalt does offer with their tools. Yeah, 180-day returnable. So 30 days, again, zero turns, tractors, lawnmowers. Usually they have a 30-day return policy. But anyway, guys, it's 32 pounds compared to 22 pounds. We'll just round them up. So it is bigger. It has a smaller tank. Now, again, it is a hot dog style compared to a pancake. But both 135 PSI. DeWalt has a little bit bigger tank. The SCFM 90 PSI is a little bit higher with this, and this is quieter. I don't really have any problem with this compressor, except I wish it was a little bit more compact. 31 pounds for a little 2-gallon compressor is kind of steep here. I mean, here's, a one gallon. Well, I wish they had like a 2-gallon. I just wanted, because even the pneumatic ones. Now, again, you put a big battery in this Milwaukee, like a 12 amp hour or an 8 amp hour. Now you're almost at 35 pounds. All right. So that's my point here, trying to kind of, here's a 3-gallon. It's a horizontal, but I bet you this is a lot lighter than 31 pounds. I bet you it's around half as heavy. 84 decibels. Yeah, 19 pounds versus, 35 with a battery. So for a 2-gallon, guys, it's definitely a heavy compressor, and at $350, it's not cheap. But guys, what it all comes down to, and you know it, if you're in Milwaukee's platform, this is something you've been waiting for. You finally have it. It's going to work great. You should have a 5-year warranty on it, and I'm sure you do. I don't know why it says all Milwaukee stuff has a 5-year warranty. So you got a great warranty. I'm sure it's a little bit bigger than most of you guys wanted. I'm sure you kind of wanted a little bit more PSI. You know, to have this being released in 2020 when the DeWalt was released in 2017, and spec-wise, it's pretty much the same, guys. 135 PSI. You know, 1.2 SCFM at 90. You know, a little bit more SCFM at 40 PSI, but I don't know. I think most of you guys would have liked to see a 3-gallon. Now, don't be surprised if the MX platform maybe comes out with a 4-gallon or something like that. You know, for an 18 gallon, for an 18 volt compressor, it's very quiet. That's definitely the biggest pro to this. And that's really the only pro that I see with going with this compressor over the DeWalt. Again, bare tool, it's $60 more than a kit from DeWalt. DeWalt is, you know, 50% lighter almost.